Cue Dave and Ryan in 3, 2, 1.
It's Dave and Ryan's movie review.
Sponsored by the Plan Z Diet.
All right, so today's Redemption, this is off of my list, okay? We try to keep score that way, and I told Ryan after we watched this movie, this movie wasn't as good as I remember it being.
They never are. They never are.
And of course, I am talking about 2004's Van Helsing, starring Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale. 2 hours and 11 minutes, way too long. Rated PG-13. The famed monster hunter is sent to Transylvania to stop Dracula. I think we all know this story. But we also sneak in the Wolfman and Frankenstein in this one.
Yeah, and also Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde is in this one as well.
Just at the beginning.
So you know what? It's not a bad film by any stretch of the imagination.
But it's not a good film.
It was not a good film for him either.
For the time, it was okay.
You want to know why he got to do this movie?
Why?
Steven Sommers actually wrote this movie. That's the guy that directed it.
Yeah, he also did The Mummy.
I was going to say, he was living off The Mummy on this one. So wow, wait a minute. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and the Mummy. He had them all.
Well, unfortunately, he also did The Scorpion King.
Well, that's his fault. But
and G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra.
Hey, don't hack on those G.I. Joe movies. They're not bad.
Yes, they are.
Growing up as a kid, that if you loved G.I. Joe, it was all right. Just live with it. You deal with it.
No, it was not all right.
So anyway.
They did G.I. Joe dirty.
It turns out that he is actually working for the Vatican. They send him to Transylvania to squelch what's going on there.
They send him with Carl.
The
friar. Which you might recognize him from 300.
He's an interesting character.
Yeah, yes. If he is if I lived back then, I would probably be Carl.
You would be Carl. See? There's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, what they do is he goes to Transylvania and he meets up with with Kate Beckinsale, who is royalty, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Anna.
Anna. A-N-N-A. Anya.
Right. So he meets up with her. Her brother gets killed early on. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
And
her family's like the protector of the area.
They
they were in charge of getting rid of Dracula, which obviously they failed.
You hate to say that, but they did. So anyway, Carl was also in the Two Towers. I kept wanting to say he was in a Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
So anywho, they do all this. He goes up against Dracula. Dracula needs Frankenstein's monster to, birth all of his children. He needs this big electrical charge that Frankenstein's monster is going to put out to keep them sustained until they can hatch, I guess, so to speak.
You know what this story sounds a lot like?
What's that?
Did you ever see what was the Frankenstein movie with
I, Frankenstein?
Yeah.
With Aaron Eckhart?
Yeah. It sounds like the exact same story.
That was not a bad
We
flick
need
either.
the power to generate the demons.
Yeah, that was
we
actually
need the
not
power
not a
to
bad
hatch our children.
But
wow. Did he write that movie too?
Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so he goes through and, of course, defeats evil, and Anna dies at the end, joining her brother. And it's on to the next mission for Van Helsing.
Sacrificed herself.
Well, she did. We were supposed to, if I remember correctly, there was a reboot of Van Helsing that kicked around for a heartbeat there. And I want to say it was Channing Tatum.
I know there was a
they were
TV series that came out.
There was, yeah. But I want to say they were going to reboot Van Helsing, and they were looking at Channing Tatum to take the lead role.
Well, if I remember, I think this Van Helsing, along with the Mummy and some other and Frankenstein and all that, I think it was supposed to be part of the Gentleman movie that had
the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I think it was supposed to be part of that, but since it didn't do so well, they scrapped that idea. And
this movie came out after that one.
Yeah, but they were supposed to tie in.
It's possible. That movie wasn't bad either.
It was.
Maybe I just have really
good.
bad choices. Well, it had Sean Connery in it.
That was the only good thing
Maybe
about it.
Maybe we should look at that one next. But anyway, I thought this movie was a lot better than it really was.
The only good thing about this movie is Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it eventually ends.
Oh, that too. But
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale.
Kevin O'Connor, the guy who played Igor, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
As an Igor.
Yeah. But Kate Beckinsale, she's always nice to look at.
You can't go wrong with the Kate.
You know what? You know what's sad is I am enamored with Kate Beckinsale. I've never seen an Underworld movie.
Really?
Really.
She wears tight leather outfits.
Well,
in
she
that
did
movie.
in this one too.
Yeah, but
So
it's more in. Go watch. That's your homework.
okay,
Dave.
I'll watch Underworld. All
Yes.
of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 4.
I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen one.
There's the first one. Then the second one is like where the guy come back as like a mutated guy, the werewolf or whatever, and they go and find his someone's brother, and the other one was like back in the past with the Lycans.
Is there one where they need to stop Dracula from kidnapping Frankenstein because he needs the power to? I don't know. I thought this movie was better than it really was. Okay, there, I said it. 21 years ago, I was a different person, apparently. The acting in this
21 years ago, Dave was 37.
the acting in this one was not great.
It was over the acting.
It was overacted all the way through, especially the guy that plays Dracula. Overacts every bit of Dracula in this one.
We got to
the
remember
three brides do.
This is 2004. This is right when special effects started to become believable.
Well,
There wasn't a whole lot of if you put money into it, it would. What was the budget?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with you on this one. It was not the special effects were not believable in this one.
But for that time,
Maybe
it was a lot better than some of the other
Maybe.
ones, like freaking.
And you know what the saddest part
the
about it
Scorpion
is?
King gummy bear.
Oh, the Scorpion King was horrible. You know what the saddest part about this movie is?
What?
I bought it to watch it. Go
See,
ahead.
it had a 160 budget, and it only made
Well, gross $300 million worldwide.
yeah, but just domestically, it was only 120.
So, didn't even make its money back.
No.
Like I said, you had so many things that were just at the right time. You had Stephen Sommers coming off of The Mummy on this one. Hugh Jackman and his work in the X-Men movies.
Yeah, he was
Everybody,
up
he
and
was the
coming.
draw.
He was
the
up and
draw.
coming right then.
Yeah, he was the draw in this one.
He was the greatest showman.
So, I got to give this one like 2.5 buckets out of 5. If we're gonna rate it on something like that, this was not a good movie. It's not even a good movie to just sit and watch when there's nothing else on.
This is not a remote dropper for
This
you?
is not a remote dropper. If I were a young kid back in the day when there were only 3 channels and this was on all 3 channels, I'd go outside and play.
Okay.
And you know how rough it had to be to go outside and play.
Yeah. I'm going to say, just because of those 3 specific actors, Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, and Kevin O'Connor, I'm going to give this one 3 buckets.
3 buckets? All right. Once again, sad part about this one is if you want to watch it, you got to buy it or rent it. You can rent it for like $3.99. I think I paid $14 to buy it. It's sitting in my Fandango account, and it's just never going to go anywhere. All right. So give it a watch. Van Helsing, this week's redemption. I feel that this movie cannot be redeemed.
Make sure you go on, you like and subscribe.
Absolutely. Like,
Hit that
subscribe.
notification bell. Check us out on Facebook.
Give us some comments on our YouTube, on our Facebook. Tell us what you think. Did we get this one right? What did you think? Did you really like this movie? And I'm not going to hold that against you. It's okay. It's okay.
People like what people like.
That's absolutely correct. It's like I like Ryan sometimes. People like what they like. All right. So until next time, go see a movie.